The room went silent for exactly 3 seconds. Then my wife laughed. Not a nervous laugh. Not an awkward one. A real laugh. The kind people use when they think they've just delivered the funniest line of the night. Honestly, she said, raising her glass, if I ever cheated on my husband, he'd probably be the last person to notice. Her friends burst out laughing. One of them slapped the table. Another said, "You're terrible." My wife grinned. I'm just saying, he trusts me too much. That was when she looked up and saw me standing directly behind her. Her smile disappeared. I had arrived only 30 seconds earlier. Nobody had heard the front door open. I had walked through the crowded living room, past several guests, and stopped behind the couch, where my wife was sitting, with 6 of her closest friends. She stared at me like I had appeared out of nowhere. I looked at the glass in her hand, then at the people around her. Finally, I smiled. Go on, I said. I'm curious how the joke ends. Nobody laughed. My wife slowly put her glass down. You're here. Clearly. I thought you were working late. I was. She swallowed. The party was supposed to be a small gathering at a friend's house. My wife had told me she wanted one night with her friends, so I had planned to stay at the office. Then, around 9, my boss canceled our meeting. Instead of going home immediately, I decided to surprise her. I never expected to hear that. My wife stood up and pulled me aside. You're taking that seriously? I'm trying to figure out whether I should. It was a joke. About cheating? Yes. Interesting choice of joke. She lowered her voice. You're embarrassing me. I almost laughed. Me? She glanced around. Everyone had suddenly become fascinated by their phones. You know what I meant, she whispered. No, I really don't. For the next 20 minutes, she tried to act normal. She introduced me to people I already knew. She offered me food. She asked whether I wanted a drink. But I noticed something. Every time someone mentioned cheating, her eyes moved toward me. And then came the moment that changed everything. Her friend Rachel walked over and said, You know, maybe you should stop teasing him. He might actually start checking. My wife gave her a sharp look. Checking what? Rachel froze. I watched my wife carefully. She was angry now. Not embarrassed. Angry. That told me more than the joke ever could. I pulled out my phone. I actually came here because I wanted to show you something. Her face changed. What? I opened a photo. It was a picture of my wife standing outside a hotel 3 nights earlier. She wasn't alone. A man stood beside her. Her coworker, Daniel. The same Daniel she had repeatedly described as just a friend. My wife stared at the screen, then at me. Where did you get that? That's your first question? She said nothing. I swiped to another picture, then another. Nothing explicit, nothing I couldn't explain away. But together they formed a pattern. 3 late-night meetings, 2 hotel visits, 1 dinner across town, and messages I had discovered that afternoon. I wasn't interested in screaming. I wasn't interested in revenge. I simply wanted the truth. So, I said quietly, was the cheating joke really a joke? Her eyes filled with panic. Rachel stepped away. The room became painfully quiet. My wife finally whispered, I can explain. I know. She looked confused. I already heard enough. I put my phone back into my pocket. Then I walked toward the door. She grabbed my arm. Where are you going? Home. Our home? I looked at her hand on my sleeve. For tonight, she released me. I stopped at the doorway and turned around. Tomorrow we'll talk about the marriage. Her face went pale. But tonight, I continued, you can enjoy your party. I left before she could answer. Behind me, I heard someone quietly ask what had happened. My wife didn't respond. For the first time that night, she had nothing funny to say. And as I drove home, I realized something strange. Her joke hadn't revealed the affair. It had revealed something much more important. She already knew I was suspicious, and she'd been laughing because she thought I would never have the courage to prove it.